Here again with another Shameless Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for those of you that are wondering, I have watched Shameless all the way through at least one time. Some episodes I've watched multiple times. Just wanted to rewatch it and discuss it. I know a lot of it's good, but towards the end there, especially the last two seasons, the show does take a big dip, and I mean big dip, in quality. With that in mind, this will be Shameless Season 6, Episode 3. The title of this episode is called The F Word. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. A very memorable episode, to say the least. We start off with Fiona waking up in the morning, and she tries to get into the bathroom, but someone beats her to it. I think it was Ian. She does indeed make it to a window in a bedroom and pukes out the window, mostly onto Frank. Gallagher Rain, Frank says. And Frank actually has a bunch of people in the backyard, people that have been kicked out of their homes. But hey, my God, can they cook, Frank says. V and Kev go to visit Giannis in the hospital. That's Will Sasso's character from the previous episodes that was essentially hit while he was on his motorcycle. And he's now paralyzed, he says. He thinks the Lisa cut his brake line. Carl's provided food for everyone. And Ian, they're all complaining, like Ian, or Debbie and Carl. And Ian says she might try and fire you from the family, like Ian got fired from Patsy's because of Fiona. But Ian kind of walked out. And then Debbie says, or make you have an abortion, or get an abortion. Fiona tells Debbie she's pregnant. Debbie gets really happy about that and says they can raise their cousins together. And Fiona says she wants to go through the abortions together. Fiona, do you not understand that Debbie is pro-life? She doesn't want to have an abortion. Don't you get it? Debbie calls Fiona disgusting and a horrible person, or a horrible human being, actually, because of this abortion shit. And she says, you didn't even divorce your husband. You just ghosted him. Ian goes to Lip's place as Lip has put in a good word for Ian to get a job, especially from Professor Ewing's. Debbie tells Frank about her and Fiona being pregnant. Frank tells Debbie, it's your time. Frank's got to run so he's not late for his cancer support group. And then, do you have cancer? I don't think so. Ian's got a janitorial position, or custodial position. He's going to be Dave, spelled D-A-V today. And Carl talks to Dominique again. She knows he's a white boy trying to play hard. Someone wants a word with Carl in his office, and it's actually the school principal. Fiona tells V that she's pregnant, and Fiona starts to freak out due to hormones, so V gives her a hug. It might be Gus's or possibly Jimmy's baby. Jimmy Steve. Yes, Jimmy Steve. Unfortunately, we know that he does not make an appearance in Shameless again, despite what I thought for the series finale, that I thought he'd come back. V agrees that Fiona goes to Gus, and Fiona says Gus's band has a big night tonight, or big gig tonight, and she's going to go see him there. The school principal knows Carl is selling weapons, and he actually wants a Glock. Sean wants to know what's going on with Fiona, as he can tell Fiona's just not right. Frank's waiting outside for Fiona and is happy about the good news at Patsy's. Carl talks to Dominique again, and she wonders what's with him. And the principal of the school that he just sold a weapon to acknowledges Carl as being an African American. Frank tells Fiona Christ is opposed to abortions. Giannis causes Kev to almost have an accident as Kev's taking him home. And Giannis pushes Kev and kind of takes over the vehicle, and it goes onto the yard. Ian says Lip's professor is kind of a dick when he goes to talk to Ian and Ewing's. Debbie talks to Frank about an abortion intervention for Fiona. Carl brings Liam to Dominique's house. Her dad answers the door. He tells him he'll give him a 10-second head start as he has a baseball bat. and his bodyguard of sorts, Nick and Carl, run off, but Carl has to come back because Liam is still standing there at the door. Fiona goes to see Gus at a show, and Gus says he's glad Fiona's here. He wrote a song for her. And then there's a dorm party for Lip and Ian, and Gus sings the F word to Fiona. Fucking Fiona was fucking everyone. Fuck you, Fiona. And now I'm fucking done. Fiona is not too happy, and V can't believe what she's hearing. Or maybe she can. That's what I'm writing. Ian is wasted after the dorm party. He complains about Fiona treating him like he's 5. Back to Patsy's for Fiona and Sean smoking now. He's going to quit soon, though. Sean thinks Fiona is going to end it with him, and she says no. Sean says, if I were Gus, I would have burned your house down. Sean's got to go to a meeting. He says for her to sing him some of the F word. Fiona flips him off. Fiona wakes up puking again. Frank has everyone there to try and stop Fiona from having the abortion. Liam even says, don't kill babies, Fiona. Debbie wants their babies to play together. Cleanup time for Ian, and this is after the aftermath of the dorm party, and he doesn't want Lip's help. He tells Lip, some of us actually have to work for a living, and then Ian and Lip start to fight, and Joaquin breaks it up. Ian says, I'm fucking done. So Ian, that's kind of, I think, his bipolarness, his problems. Another teacher / administrator from the school wants a gun from Carl. Debbie pleads with Fiona to support her decision. She says she knows she's going to be a great mom. Debbie tells Fiona she lied to Derek. She lied about being on the pill. If she has this baby, Fiona will not be supporting her, and she's on her own if she does this. Sean stops by, and again, Sean knows something's going on, and he wants to listen. Doing heroin didn't affect his ability to listen, he says. Giannis complains to Kevin V, and he's never going to get laid again, at least without paying for it. Fiona tells Sean she's pregnant, finally, and she's not having it. She also mentions that she doesn't even know if it's his. Dominique walks by Carl, and he doesn't say anything to her. So that actually bothers Dominique. Like, oh, now he's not talking to me. So all the faculty in the school, there's something that breaks out in the cafeteria, and they all have guns now. V tells Cap to let go of the guilt and focus on what's good. Giannis has no friends because he's an asshole. Lip smokes some weed with Joaquin and talks to him about Ian wanting to be a soldier. Fiona and Sean get back from their walk, and there's actually a eviction notice on the door. Seems like Ian is going to jump into the lake, and then that's where an accident happens, and somebody actually runs away from the scene of the crime. There's a fire that starts in the car with somebody still in there, and Ian comes to the rescue. A lady is passed out in her car, and Ian is able to pull her out before the car explodes, essentially. And then Ian is kind of out of it after that because he's had a lot of smoke inhalation, so he needs some oxygen. And then the episode ends with all the faculty in the principal's office putting their guns on the principal's decks. Kind of like, okay, we're done with this experiment. Let's not have all these weapons. And that's, of course, what ends things. So, pretty good episode of Shameless. Obviously, the standout moment in this episode by far is the F-word song by Gus. One of the most crazy moments in Shameless, in my opinion, just because it's, just so memorable. Fucking Fiona was fucking everyone. Fuck you, Fiona. And now I'm fucking done. So I'm going to score this episode a 9.0 out of 10. And my characters of the episode, Fiona, I could give it to somebody else, but I think Fiona, and to me, was a standout female. And for the males, I'm going to give it to Ian. He's battling his bipolarness. He saved somebody's life, and now he needs some oxygen. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing that like button. Even 3 or 4 likes a video certainly go a long way. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are after watching this episode of Shameless. What would you rate this episode? Who would be your characters of the episode if you want to do a male and female, or just one standout character? That's fine with me. With this episode, what was your favorite moment? Mine, obviously, is Gus singing the F word, because it's like, it's so brutal to Fiona with all the stuff she's dealing with right now, that's got to like really hurt her. And then, of course, before I go into my ending spiel, click right here, find my Shameless series finale rant video if you've seen every episode of Shameless. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel as you're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.